All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to crack open the confidential playbook of one of the most secretive and successful investors on the planet. This is the guy that other legends go to for advice, and we're about to see exactly where he's putting his billions. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, right? It sounds like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie. But this is the real story of Li Lu. We're talking about a guy who went from being a wanted political refugee to an absolute titan of Wall Street. And understanding how he did it, well, that's the secret to understanding why he's making the moves he's making today. Seriously, his life story is just unbelievable. As a kid, he survives one of the deadliest earthquakes in modern history. As a young man, he becomes a leader in the Tiananmen Square protests and has to literally flee for his life. He shows up in America with next to nothing and then proceeds to build an empire from the ground up. And it's not just what he accomplished, it's the sheer speed of it all. Just think about this. In the span of just a few years, he goes from arriving in a new country to earning 3 degrees from Columbia at the same time. And by 2003, he's not just playing in the big leagues, he's partners with the legend himself, Charlie Munger. You know, this quote really says everything you need to know. When Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's iconic right-hand man, calls you the next Warren Buffett, you stop and you listen. That's not just a nice compliment. That's basically an investing legend handing you the crown. So that brings us to the main event. What does the portfolio of the quote-unquote Chinese Warren Buffett actually look like today? Let's peel back the curtain on his nearly $2.7 billion find and see exactly where he's placing his biggest bets. And here it is. At first glance, you see a pretty clear theme, right? He's making huge bets on American financial powerhouses like Bank of America. He owns a giant stake in his mentor's company, Berkshire Hathaway, and of course, a massive position in the tech behemoth, Alphabet. But hang on a minute. Look at that number 2 spot. That's new. And that's where this story gets really interesting. And check out this level of focus. We are talking about over 85% of his entire fund in just 5 companies. This is not your typical diversify your portfolio advice. No, this is the definition of high conviction investing. He's not just testing the waters. He is all in on the ideas he believes in most. Okay, this is where we get to the heart of it, because this past quarter, Li Lu wasn't just sitting back and relaxing. He made 2 absolutely enormous moves that completely changed the landscape of his portfolio. This is the real story we need to dig into. And here's the twist. On one side, he goes out and builds a colossal, nearly $500 million new position in Pinduoduo, the disruptive Chinese e-commerce player. And on the other side, he sells off a huge slice of his number 1 holding, Bank of America. He is shuffling the deck in a very, very big way. So you gotta ask, right? Why this massive shift? Why sell a winner, a core holding, to fund such a giant bet on a Chinese tech company? A move this decisive is a signal. It tells you something about how he sees the world right now. So what is he seeing that the rest of us aren't? You know, to really understand why he sold, we first have to understand why he bought it in the first place. Why was Bank of America his top pick for so long? Well, it all boils down to this single powerful philosophy he learned straight from his mentor. This right here, this quote, is the key to the whole kingdom. It's the foundation of his entire strategy. It's not about digging through the bargain bin for cheap, broken companies. It's about finding truly great, indestructible businesses and then having the patience to buy them when the price is right. So what exactly is a wonderful company? Well, think of a castle protected by a giant moat that no competitor can cross. That's its durable advantage. It just reliably spits out cash, year in and year out. And maybe most importantly, the business is so simple and well built that, as Munger famously said, even an idiot can run it, because eventually one will. And Bank of America fits that description perfectly. It's too big to fail, which is its moat. Its business is pretty simple and generates predictable cash. And crucially, he was able to buy it for a fantastic price during the chaos of 2020. So trimming his position now, that's not panic. That's him spotting what he thinks is an even better opportunity somewhere else. Okay, so what can we as investors learn from all of this? Let's try to distill these huge moves down into a simple, clear playbook that we can take away from watching a true master at work. Here it is, the most important takeaway. He isn't abandoning his core philosophy. He's actually doubling down on it. He's simply taking the profits from one wonderful company that has done its job, and he's redeploying that cash into another wonderful company, Pinduoduo, that he believes offers an even better deal today. And this all fits perfectly into his playbook. He mastered value investing when he bought Bofa in 2020. He thinks in decades. That's why his portfolio is so concentrated. His big move into Pinduoduo, that's him playing inside his circle of competence. He knows China better than almost anyone. And he is always learning, always ready to shift capital when a smarter idea presents itself. Which kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. When the markets feel crazy and everything seems so uncertain, maybe the safest, smartest move is to simply watch what the most disciplined investors are doing and learn from their actions. You know, this kind of analysis, getting inside the heads of the world's greatest investors and breaking down their moves, that's what we live for here on this channel. So if you found this breakdown valuable, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next deconstruction. Thanks for watching.